Mario here did a great job of that as an example. He says, question, do you have any updates on election integrity progress? Carrie Lake plus any other activities?
Yeah, so Carrie Lake got two big victories in court. As of last Thursday, I did my first video on that. So the first one was the Supreme Court, Arizona Supreme Court, really lambasting the lower Maricopa County trial court for dragging its feet in terms of the signature verification charges that Carrie's making. So Carrie Lake's team has a number of eyewitnesses that have signed sworn depositions that they witnessed cheating with regard to signature verification, right? Because there's two things you're supposed to do with signature verification. Is number one, if the signature that you have that's been sent in on the mail-in ballot, right? These are early ballots. So it's sent in the mail-in ballot. If it does not match the signature that's on file, if you're on file, if you're registered to vote, they have your signature on file. So if that signature does not match the signature on file, then two things are supposed to happen. It's you're supposed to contact the person in order to find out what's going on, so as to what's called cure the ballot. So you contact the person, say something's not right there, and you try to figure out what's going on. And or if it doesn't work, if you can't contact the person, or if the excuse doesn't work, the ballot is to be thrown out. And what Carrie Lake's team is charging is that there were tens of thousands of ballots that were not cured and not thrown out. So, and the ballots with signature mismatches. The lower court was ordered by Arizona Supreme Court back in March to give Carrie her day in court to examine the evidence of that. And she also wanted full access to the signatures among the mail-in ballots, signature verification, so as to be able to do discovery, as it were. And the court's been dragging its feet. It wouldn't do it. And we now know why, because the Katie Hobbs team went to the Arizona Supreme Court to try to get Carrie Lake's team censored by the high court, so as to, in effect, embarrass them for bringing a frivolous lawsuit with no evidence. So that's what they wanted to try to do, is they wanted to try to embarrass Carrie Lake's team, and the lower court used that pending decision to basically drag their feet and say, well, we're not going to give you a day in court, because if the Arizona Supreme Court comes out and censors your lawyers for bringing a frivolous suit with no evidence, then we don't have to do anything. We don't have to take you serious and whatever. The Arizona Supreme Court turned around and did two things. One, they threw out all of Katie Hobbs' attempts to try to get them censored, number one, and they threw out all the censored charges. And number two, they ordered the lower Maricopa County Court, get busy. They said to do it immediately. You needed to do it. You needed to give Carrie her day in court right away. And so this is huge. This is the Arizona Supreme Court wants to see what's going on with those mail-in ballots. So those are very, very good. And of course, now we're getting the 6-month mark of Katie Hobbs' artificial tenure here. So now we can start the gathering signatures for a recall. So we'll have to see how that, I got to go and revisit that to see where that is right now. But last I saw, just a few months back, it was huge. There were several organizations ready to do it. It looked like the momentum there was they were going to easily get the signatures needed, and they may force a very serious recall. Now, again, remember, recalls are hard. They normally go down in flames. People generally come out and say, look, let this person finish their term, even like Gruesome Newsom or something like that. Scott Walker in Wisconsin. Nevertheless, a recall badly damages the legitimacy of a tenure. So, I mean, Katie Hobbs is damaged goods as it stands. A recall effort, a successful one, at least in terms of getting on the ballot, it's going to only further undermine her legitimacy. And that's what we need to be doing. That's the important thing right there. So, no, it's good. It's frustratingly slow. it's all stacked against us. The very fact that the Maricopa County Court was purposely dragging its feet shows just, how rigged this whole pathetic system is. It's horrible stuff. So, so we just have to be patient, and hopefully by 2024, we're gonna master the ballot harvesting so overwhelmingly that there's really nothing they're going to be able to do to stop it. So we'll see. But first, gang, you have got to click on that link below and try for yourself the new technology behind My Pillow 2.0. It's amazing. Mike Lindell's absolutely outdone himself with the new fabric temperature regulating technology that keeps you comfortable all throughout the night. You're going to absolutely love it. I know I do every night. And you get the same amazing savings as always if you use promo code Turley. Normally, classic My Pillow is $69.98, but if you use promo code Turley, you'll get that same classic My Pillow for just $19.98, and that applies to 200 products in their catalog. So don't wait. Click on that link below. Give the gift of comfort and warmth for yourself, for loved ones. Support one of America's most amazing patrons and get the best savings ever with promo code Turley. Click on that link below right now.
Olga is wondering what you think about a Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene ticket.
MTG, that'd be neat because she's from Georgia, and Georgia's been really hard for the Republicans of late. It just seems like there's a lot of rigged system there for rhinos, and where the rhinos and Democrats basically work together to better each other's fortune at the expense of America First ultra MAGA movement. So MTG would be amazing. I think she would absolutely energize the base. I think what they're looking at, so the polls that are coming out right now, you probably saw that. There was so much stuff going on. I still haven't gotten everything going on since this weekend. Chile, the nation of Chile, just turned to the right by like 60% in their constitutional election, which absolutely a stunning sharp turn to the right, and repudiated their ruling leftist party. So there was so much going on that I wasn't able to get to the polls that have been coming out of late. Rasmussen came out last week with Trump with a 7-point lead over Biden. Now, Rasmussen's pretty good, right? Likely voters. And everyone's like, it's an outlier. Even though Trump leads in the Real Clear Politics, the RCP aggregate, the average, which averages out all the polls, he only leads by a couple of points. Last I saw, it was a couple of weeks ago. He took the lead a few weeks back. But now we saw one that had him 7 above Biden from Rasmussen. And everyone's like going, that's just an outlier. Did you see what came out from ABC News? I think, wasn't it ABC News Washington Post poll? It's Trump by 6. It was almost identical. And when you broke down the demographics, age, income level, education, college, non-college, all that sort of stuff, race and so forth, Biden is getting clobbered in virtually every single category. So why I'm bringing that up is that before I saw that, I would have said something like, and we'll see if he's able to keep that momentum. But I would have said something like, well, we need to be very strategic of who we're going to pick. Maybe we need to pick RFK. He's certainly, I am more convinced than ever that RFK is auditioning for Trump's VP. He knows he's not going to break through with Biden. He knows that. He's not going to get the Democratic nomination. This is his audition for Trump's VP without beating up Trump, without entering into the Republican nomination race. I think he's trying to amass as big of a populist center-left coalition as possible to basically say to Trump, hey, you want me to bring this 20% of the Democratic Party over here to a MAGA, America First, nationalist populist coalition? Should we do this? Should we totally redefine the Republican Party as 100% populist party? So that's my, so I would have said maybe we got to be thinking in those terms, thinking outside the box and that kind of stuff. Or definitely still, I'm still hopeful of a Trump DeSantis ticket because I just think it'll unite the party and it's just the safest route. After seeing those two polls, it's almost like he could just pick anybody he wants. He's winning. He's going to win this, possibly by 10 points. This is huge. These numbers are gigantic. I mean, because again, you have to understand for these guys, these pollsters, they always oversample Democrats. Now, I wouldn't even say Rasmussen does it, but even Rasmussen all throughout 2020 had Biden ahead. There was one time, I think he had Biden ahead by like 14 points. It was crazy. Everyone was like, Rasmussen, what are you doing? But nevertheless, here we are. And I think we could think boldly. I think we can think Trump MTG, Trump RFK, Trump Gates. I mean, we can think boldly at this point. So it's exciting. I would just say at this point right now with those kinds of polls, and if they sustain, he can pick anybody he wants, and he probably just wants to pick someone who really energizes the party, and no one does like MTG.